Hello friends, we are in the latest episode of Transfer News. We are reviewing the agenda and the latest developments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. Last night, we completed the transfer window in the top 5 leagues. We are looking at what happened and also evaluating potential transfers for the remaining 7 days. In January 2024, transfer expenditures hit the lowest level in the last 12 years, with hardly anyone spending money. No transfers were made above 40 million euros. Many teams are caught in the financial fair play constraints, contributing to this trend. Additionally, it's worth mentioning that teams have likely reserved their spending for the end of the season. Let's take the Premier League as an example. 12 months ago, they spent 843 million euros in the January transfer window, but this time around, they only spent a total of 100 million euros. Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, and Liverpool didn't make a single transfer. Chelsea have been warned that they could face a huge points deduction if they do no sanction £100 million worth of sales in the summer. The Blues have continued to invest heavily on the back of seeing a Todd Boehly-led consortium seize control at Stamford Bridge. Over £1 billion has been spent across 4 transfer windows, and financial fair play regulations stipulate that clubs can only lose £105 million across a 3-year rolling time frame per the Premier League's profit and sustainability rules. Last night, Benrahma's transfer to Lyon from West Ham United was cancelled because the necessary transfer documents were not submitted on time. As is the case every year, someone couldn't complete their transfer. Lyon applied to FIFA for the transfer to be considered valid. FIFA has now announced the final decision, and the transfer has taken place. Lyon has signed a 6-month contract with the player. Bournemouth has announced the transfer of Enes Ünal. They have loaned him from Getafe. There is a mandatory purchase clause of exactly 16.5 million euros. Tottenham made a last-minute move for Lucas Bergvall against Barcelona. The 18-year-old midfielder traveled to Spain to sign with Barcelona. Everything, from health reports to the signing time, was set. However, Premier League team Tottenham intervened and pulled the player away from the deal. Barcelona doesn't cease to surprise us. We keep saying it couldn't get any worse, and yet it does. By the way, Tottenham's new signing Bergvall plays comfortably with the ball. He has a unique style of dribbling and can use both of his feet quickly. Bayern Munich had previously signed Brian Zaragoza for the end of the season, meaning the player was supposed to stay at Granada until the end of the season. However, due to Kingsley Coman's injury, it was renegotiated, and Zaragoza has now joined the Bayern squad. Eric Dier, Sacha Boey, and Brian Zaragoza are Bayern's mid-season transfers. In a period where many world giants remained silent, they did not stay quiet. The South Korean team Seoul made a surprising transfer by adding Jesse Lingard to their squad. He has been a free agent since July 1, 2023. Despite proposing his desired salary to many teams, he received no offers. As a result, the English star has now transferred to the South Korean League. Boateng, another player who has been without a team since July 1, 2023, has signed with Salernitana. They have been in talks with him for the past 2 months, and the transfer was completed as of last night. Frankfurt has announced the loan signing of Hugo Ekitike from PSG, including a purchase option. The player has a mandatory purchase clause, and the fee is 30 million euros. PSG coach Luis Enrique spoke. He said, "Kylian Mbappé has not told me anything about coming to me so far." The Paris side continues to remain silent about his future, but they are very afraid of his departure. He is currently one of the players leading the team. Therefore, they have even exceeded 100 million euros in salary. However, Mbappé will not stay. He is preparing to announce his departure from Paris shortly. The transfer season has closed, but free agents can still make moves. David De Gea has been unable to find a team for months. He was supposed to go to Saudi Arabia, but that deal also fell through. The Spanish goalkeeper is in talks with Dortmund. They are in search of a new goalkeeper, and although we don't know his current form, he is the biggest free agent goalkeeper in the market. Mauricio Pochettino believes Chelsea have enough attacking options despite allowing striker Armando Broja to join Fulham on loan. The 22-year-old has made 19 appearances for Chelsea this season but scored just 2 goals in all competitions. Therefore, the Blues decided to let him join the Cottagers on loan for the rest of the season for a fee that could rise to £4 million. Now, manager Pochettino has explained that the likes of Christopher Nkunku, Nicholas Jackson, and even 18-year-old David Washington are ample options for the West London outfit. Joan Laporta admitted that he would have axed any other manager in current circumstances if they were not a club legend like Xavi Hernandez. January had been a cruel month for Barcelona. They were thrashed 4-1 by Real Madrid in the Supercopa de España and were also knocked out of the Copa del Rey by a dominant Athletic Club in extra time. The 5-3 defeat to Villarreal was the final nail in the coffin that forced Xavi to announce his impending departure from the club. However, Laporta hinted that he could have already been fired if he wasn't a club legend. When asked if there is any possibility of sacking Xavi before June, Laporta said, "If it's down to me, I won't fire Xavi. He does not deserve that. He truly believes in the formula we have set up until the end of the season. Barcelona won't give up in La Liga or the Champions League, and we have a squad good enough to compete and win against Napoli. We don't doubt how involved the management and players are. If it wasn't Xavi, I would have already fired the manager in this situation." Xavi reportedly threatened to resign if Barcelona had sanctioned Ronald Araujo's sale to Bayern Munich before eventually announcing his summer exit. The Bavarians' pursuit of Araujo from Barcelona was the worst-kept secret during the January transfer window. Bayern were willing to invest €80 million in the talented centre-back, as Thomas Tuchel happens to be a huge admirer of the defender. Barcelona's coach, Xavi, remained adamant about holding on to the defender and threatened to resign if Araujo was sold. Bayern was left with no choice but to shift focus to other targets and ultimately opted for a more cost-effective and short-term solution by securing Eric Dier from Tottenham Hotspur on a 6-month loan, with an option for an additional full season. Brentford boss Thomas Frank has admitted his delight at retaining Ivan Toney this month amid serious transfer interest from Arsenal. Mikel Arteta's side were heavily linked with a move for Toney during the January window, but the Gunners opted against pushing hard to sign him despite the fact he has returned to action after serving a 9-month football ban. Toney marked his Premier League return with a free-kick goal against Nottingham Forest, while he also scored during Brentford's 3-2 loss versus Tottenham Hotspur on Wednesday. Arsenal remain interested in signing the England forward, but any pursuit will now have to wait until this summer. When asked about Toney's future on transfer deadline day, Frank issued a very honest statement in response. "This will be breaking news, okay, but Ivan will stay," the Brentford boss said. "Happy? Yes, but I was pretty sure, as I said from the beginning, that Ivan will stay with us, so I was not worried about that. In general, it is nice to know what you are working with, so in that situation, yes, I am happy. I think with any player we have a contract in general, so at the end of the day we decide if they leave or not." Arturo Vidal sealed an iconic return to Colorado with one of the most bizarre unveilings in football history. The 36-year-old was released by Atletico Paranaense following the conclusion of the 2023 season, but it didn't take long for Vidal to find a new club as Colorado snapped him up on a free transfer in January. The Chilean football legend came through the Colorado academy system and made a total of 56 senior appearances for the club before joining Bayer Leverkusen for €5.2 million in 2007. After 16 and a half years away, Vidal has now returned to his boyhood club, and he was unveiled in front of a packed stadium on February 1st. His return has been lauded by Colorado fans, who turned up in their thousands to see Vidal presented as a new player. The former Juventus, Bayern Munich and Barcelona star arrived at the monumental stadium on a helicopter. But that was just the start of a crazy set of events. Soon, Vidal was seen riding around the pitch on a horse, with a crown on his head and a sword in his hand. A band also played live music on the pitch. It's really incredible.